Yo, how we doing? All right, Bruno, I'm counting on you, man, to make sure this is running. All right, so if this is properly live, which according to Bruno, it is, welcome to our first water cooler, which is basically a monthly live stream that we want to start doing. We don't know exactly when, but we're kind of saying the first Thursday of each month. So let's see if we can stick with it. And so the idea is that we just have this moment that we can talk with you guys. You can ask questions in the chat. We can show you some product updates. We can talk about things that are happening in the space of productivity, AI, Raycast in general. And on that note, what a month it has already been. Like, I can't believe we're only in February because it already feels like it's halfway through the year, at least for me. I don't know how it is for you, but at this pace that things are moving, it's getting harder and harder to stay up to date with stuff, especially with the most recent thing that has happened this year, which is Open Claw, which I think it's a much better name than the previous two. So I think that is a good way to start today's stream. And there's a lot of things that I think we can talk about this. I personally have a lot of thoughts. Um, it's definitely being the hottest topic of the month. And I don't know about your timeline, but my timeline was absolutely insane. I just saw everybody going crazy buying Mac minis, setting up VPS, VM, and at some point I was like, oh man, like this is nuts, what's going on? And so because of all that, I was very overwhelmed. I felt like, man, I gotta try this thing out. And I think a lot of you had the same idea. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I have a bunch of questions. And you know, a lot of people have also asked, what about Raycast? How does Raycast fit in? So maybe I can share my screen and show you some of this stuff. Bruno, if you want to put my screen up, please let me know when it's up. All right. So I've got a bunch of tweets here. Let me zoom in a little bit. We had a lot of people asking, when is Raycast and Open Claw gonna happen, or which I think it's a very valid question. To be honest, if I was on the outside, I would be asking the same things. I even posted this thing asking like, what do you guys have in mind? In terms of like integration, what do you think would make sense? I'm very curious to hear about what you think. So if you have thoughts in the chat, you can already start putting them down, and we can address them in a bit. And of course, there's been loads of stuff around integration with, well, at the time it was called Motebot, but integration with OpenClaw and through our AI chats, also through the iOS app and stuff like this. And of course, we had Kitse, who has been very vocal about the whole open claw thing. Someone who I feel like is definitely at the forefront of all this, and he's been giving us a lot of feedback. He's been DMing me and Thomas personally. He created a message group with us, which is quite annoying, to be honest, because I don't really use groups on messages. I just have that on WhatsApp, and then I never check it. But yeah, so he thinks he's part of the team, and in a way, he kind of is. He's been giving us lots of feedback about Raycast. He's been a Raycast user for a long time, and so given that he is somewhat part of the team, and he is leading the way with OpenClaw, he has his own community and everything. I thought, why don't we start this live stream by getting him on it, and then we can have a little chat with him as well and get some of his thoughts on all of these things. So let's get him on. Let's get him on.
Why did you say that you hate the group chat that I made? I'm gonna delete it now.
There he is. There he is. What's up, man? How you
Can
doing?
you guys hear me fine?
I can. I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can see the chat. We can see the chat. What
Oh,
the
there's
chat
a
is
chat
saying.
here. Okay, I just opened the chat. Hey everybody. Some of you probably hate me because I'm fake beefing with Pedro online. We're actually good buddies and we text all the time. And I love Raycast since the beginning. I've been a huge fan and I've been as vocal as I am about Claudebot right now. I've been equally vocal about Raycast because when I saw Raycast, my mind exploded by the amount of automations and stuff that I can do in my life. Now I'm having this second moment with like OpenClaw. I hate the name, cannot get used to it. Everyone calls it Claudebot. But I see how we even had this. I met the founder of Raycast, and we had breakfast, and we discussed about that this year we're going to completely revamp how tools, computers, operating systems work. And I think we're going to see a completely new form of like productivity and operating system and how everything works. Everyone is crawling for their piece right now. Everyone is trying to do something, whether it's going to be Claudebot through Telegram or whether it's going to be this and that. I'm glad I actually managed to change your mind a little bit to play with the idea of Raybot, because even when you guys when you launched, what are you calling your thingies, the ad things in the chat, what are they called?
We call them AI extensions or AI
Yeah.
tools. Yeah.
So my first feedback there, I'm not sure if MCP was popular. Like I'm not a huge fan of MCP, but when I saw those, I'm like, I made a Benji extension immediately, like in the first hour when you launched that, and I'm like, wait, but I have my Benji extension which has forms and has form fields, and it takes an action within Benji. Why cannot Raycast just look through my form and form fields, turn it in like a type schema, and actually use existing extensions? Like if you would have done that at that moment, you would have been the AI platform with the most integrations built in at once. But instead, you went to a way of like everyone needs to do both an extension and both an AI extension, which like eh, personally to me it was like, oh man, I cannot bother just maintaining the two of them. You know?
And it's funny you say that because we spent quite a bit of time exploring how we could integrate this type of agents a little bit deeper into Raycast, and whether it's OpenClaw, whether it's like it's our own agent, whether it's an agent that you built and maybe you can bring that on. We don't know yet. We're trying to kind of figure stuff out. But one of the things that really sort of like opened my mind was that when we build AI extensions, man, we were quite early at that point. If you think
Super
about it,
early.
like we were
Yes.
like almost
Yeah.
trying to like figure out how you could do
Yes.
things in a more natural language way. And
Yeah.
when we built that, I remember having this light bulb moment when I was doing the video with Thomas. We're like, man, that's crazy. You can just create a chat. You can add a
Yeah.
bunch of AI extensions,
Yeah. Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
like as
Yeah. Yeah.
context, and
Yeah.
then you can just talk to it. And if you ask it to put something on your calendar, it already knows what to do.
I
And
think that I think you were the first ones who made this. I don't think at least there wasn't a mainstream solution. ChatGPT didn't have apps. Claude didn't have anything like Claude Code skills and stuff like so this would be the first version of skills. That's
yeah,
why I was like
exactly.
kind of aggressive a bit lately on Twitter because I'm like, guys, you were first. Like, don't let fucking someone else stomp over. I mean, it's a competition, but not a competition in a way. So it's fine. I
Yeah.
think many players will win in many different areas. Like you can do everything, and someone will still be like, nah, I still don't want to send my data to Raycast. I want to have like a fully owned AI, whatever bot, you know?
100%. And in a way, like the thing that made it a little bit of a harder barrier to entry is that in order for you to build an AI extension, you still had to go through this hurdle of like building the extensions, deciding which endpoint you want to give it access to and stuff. And when I started playing with skills, that to me was something that completely changed the game, because you can have a markdown file that just has like what, three, four, five examples of how to use your API. You link it to the docs and it just works, right? It just knows
Yeah,
what to do by looking
yeah,
at the API reference. Then that moment I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Like you don't really have to do much.
yeah.
Aside from, the security stuff, how I feel like if
Just
that's
put
going
that
to work in
aside, man.
Raycast, we,
Yeah.
we, we have to probably think about a
Mm-hmm.
little bit deeper about how these things can come into the platform. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, it's been crazy. I mean, I'm curious about how is it being for you. I'm pretty sure that when you kicked off 2026, you're not imagining that any of this will happen, especially with your own community now that you have.
When this year started, like people are not actually going to believe this, but both you and me talk about mental health and a bunch of other shit. I throughout the last year, I've been just repeating when I do my morning routine. Like I'm a person who's split between having a morning routine and being productive, blah blah blah, or making coffee and going straight on a computer. There's no in between with me. So
Yeah.
when I was in the productive thing. I kept repeating that I'm going to pay off my mortgage, which to people it sounds insane. Like you have a huge mortgage, you cannot pay it off in a month. And this year I've been going within the year with that energy because I want to motivate anyone who's on Twitter. Like Twitter is very divided right now. There's like skeptics, and there are people who see opportunities and they're like, not just money, like they see Claudebot and they're like, holy fuck, not that I can only automate my life, but I can start producing more apps and more businesses and I can put more of my life on autopilot. So that's why, just like I went all in on Raycast, now I'm going all in on this and try to see like how can I get the most out of this. And Tinkerers, the Tinker Club actually succeeded because the other Discord got overcrowded. The Claudebot Discord got like way too insane, and people wanted a more private community. And I was like, wait, why don't we discuss also Raycast in the community? And we discuss automations and self-hosting and like try to find like-minded people that are. And you can see like the funny thing about the Tinker Club is like everyone is the same copy and paste person, man. Like just different haircuts and different beards. Like everyone is equally insane. Everyone has the same hobbies, uses the same apps, the same philosophy about things. And I think amazing things are going to happen out of it. Like the money aside, I just tweeted that I'm going to start refunding people because some people are even more useful than me in the community. Like I should be paying them to be within this club. So
Yeah.
it's been a crazy, like I keep calling it crazy few days, but it's been like 10 days at this point and I'm just going from one thing to another.
Yeah,
It's
man.
crazy.
Like, I'm really excited to see where this is all gonna go. And Raycast aside, open claw aside, just the concept of you being able to delegate more and more of the stuff that you do in your life, the chores, the things that are not fun to do, that maybe could be auto and could probably do a better job than you. Like most of
Yes.
the time, me and my wife, we have arguments is because I'm really bad with managing my calendar. Like people
Mm.
message me, hey man, is it cool if I come to
Same.
Barcelona in a couple of weeks? We can hang out. I'm like, yeah, man, just come over. And then I tell her, and she's like, man, did you not check your calendar? Like, we're busy that
Yeah.
weekend. We're not actually in
Yeah.
Barcelona,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you know.
Yeah.
So, although I think it's kind of, we've gone back and forth on Twitter a bit because I'm on the side of like, I've not seen any good examples yet. And you're like, what are you talking about? There's like millions of things that you can do in all this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know I'm gonna change my mind. I just
Yeah.
think that when you're trying to come up with a new way to do things, it's normal that the initial things are a bit gimmicky. I
Yeah.
do that for Raycast. When we come up with
Yeah.
AI extensions, I'm like, oh man, just create an event on your
Yeah.
calendar.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
the classic
But
one.
I was noticing that your tweets then were actually forced, and I'm like, there's no way this motherfucker is doing. Hey guys, I use this to do 3 + 3 = 6. Oh my god, it's amazing use of AI. And the comments are like, nah, dude, you don't need AI for this. So there are people who can actually. That's why I like this club because there are people who can clearly see like how can I combine A, B, and C and turn it into something else. And there are people who wait more for someone to be like, hey, here are all the examples, and this is how you can implement this in your own life. So there's always a split between that. And I got so tired of the split on Twitter. I wanted to form a club where anytime I post something insane, they're like, "Oh my god, that's fucking genius." So I wanted to make a bubble where no one disagrees with me. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
blame
Some
you.
people do that on Twitter.
So yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy. I'm excited to see how it's gonna be in 2 weeks from now. Probably quite different. I'm excited to
You're
set
moving
up
in
my
years at
own.
this point. Yeah,
Like I haven't actually. I set it up a little bit just to get an idea, but I haven't gone deep into it yet. But I did spend about 4 hours last night just creating a account for this bot I'm gonna have on
yeah,
GitHub,
yeah,
Gmail,
yeah.
whatever, like twitter.com. And I've at one point I was like, man, this is taking longer than to set up the bot at some point,
That's true.
because
That's
like
true.
just
Yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
past GitHub's capture took me like 45
Yeah.
minutes. It was crazy.
You know what's funny? If you went through the bot, it would have opened its own GitHub and it would have solved the captcha. The
That would
first
it
time
though, man? Would it really?
there's friction, so the entire point of this is like how much friction you can tolerate in life. And I'm someone who loves tinkering with shit, loves figuring hard shit out. And not everyone has the same nerves to actually sit down. And I see Tejas and a bunch of people in the community, they tried it and like, oh man, it's too frictiony. Like I had this set up before they had onboarding. Like there was no onboarding, it was just a GitHub repo. I cloned it and I tried how to set it up for myself.
Yeah.
And now even with the onboarding, if people just have one bump, they're like, nah, man, it's too
Yeah,
much
yeah,
effort.
yeah.
If I can talk a bit more about it, because someone is asking like what it actually is.
Exactly. Why don't
Um,
you answer that?
so for the first time, people own their assistant. You still can send your data to Anthropic and to OpenAI and whatever, but you download it as a desktop app, or you download it as like the GitHub repo. If you're like tinkering with shit, you can download the repo and run it from the repo. If you are like a casual user, you download the app and install the app. And what's happening is the app will run what's called like a gateway, and you can talk to that gateway through any of your devices. So you can use your phone, Telegram, WhatsApp. You can call it. You can have video calls, audio calls with it. You can text it. You can use it through your voice assistants and whatever. And the cool thing is, like, when you talk to this AI, all the memory of it, it's stored in Markdown files on your computer where you set it up, and all of the conversations are stored as JSON files on your computer. So at any times you're not satisfied with it, you don't need to go through OpenAI's bullshit to, request for your data, deleting your data. Like, for sure they're gonna delete your data. You just go, you unplug your computer, or you delete your files. You can fully control its sole identity. Like, even the files are called like identity MD, sole MD, and you can, like, to me, that's why this is so addicting. Like, I stopped talking to Claude, I stopped talking to ChatGPT, because for the first time, this has like a little avatar and name, and it's with my context where the rest of my contacts live, like my wife and friends and everyone else. And for the first time, it feels like more personal. Like, I can tell it that the soul needs to change in a way. I don't go through some UI to change it, but I tell it, hey man, like, keep it more casual and swear a bit more. So it feels like you're tweaking it in real time. And the other big benefit that you cannot do with ChatGPT, and maybe you'll be able to do it with Raycast, depending on how much permission the user allows, is like, it can learn things on its own. So if it doesn't know how to do like voice transcriptions, you can be like, hey, can you figure this out? And it will search the web, it will find a repo, it will download it, set it up, install it, and be like, okay, cool, now I can hear your voice. So the first time it does that, you're like, holy fuck, it learned a completely new skill on its own. And most people tweak and shape their bots just by talking to them. They're like, hey, I don't like that you cannot send gifs. Can you figure out how to be funnier? And it will like figure it out, and then it sends you a funny gif, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? So
Yeah,
I hope that explains it for people who are not even, so they don't even know what this is and how does it work.
that's cool. That's cool. All right, got
Yeah.
another one. Any tips on how to set up memory as best as possible? Is that something you do just by talking to it as well?
I haven't had time now in the last 10 days to properly play it. So I see people in the Tinker Club actually playing with that. And people, the bell curve meme, where it's like start with Markdown files, and then it's like complex memory system where like my Obsidian is, and then you go back to like just use Markdown files. I've given up on memory. I treat my bot as an idiot who will forget the last thing that I've said like 5 minutes later. That's how I treat it. So I rely on pointing it to commands and pointing it to skills and reminding it constantly what I want done, instead of just casually being like, it happens a lot of times. You tell it, add this to my to-do list. It's like, got it, boss. And I'm like, where did you add it? It's like, oh, in my memory MD Markdown file, even though you taught it that my to-dos live in Benji, you need to add them, blah, blah, blah. So this is actually something I'm wondering how Apple is going to solve this. So when they say Siri is going to have superpowers, right? You'll be able to tell Siri to do something, and it's going to talk to all of your apps. How will Apple figure out the competition? Like, what if I have 5 to-do apps? Like, how will they do this entire thing to make it smart enough to route your? I think that's a huge problem in Cloudbot right now. It doesn't know how to correctly route your request to do the correct actions, and you cannot rely on vagueness and talking to it like, just do this and that. You got to be a bit more specific.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Oh man, yeah, it's a crazy time, Like, I'm very curious to see how this is going to shape up, and I'm very curious to see like our take on this concept of a personal assistant as well. Um, we've got a bunch of prototypes from last week that we spent the AI hack week playing around with stuff. Like, I showed you a bit of Raybot, which is essentially inspired by
Yeah,
OpenClaw, obviously, and but you chat to it through AI chat, and in a way, you don't have to set anything up. You never have to touch your file system or worry about VPS or whatever. Um, but yeah, man, I even found a way to like connect to it externally, so eventually you could use the iOS app. At the moment, it's iOS only, right? But
yeah,
or
that's
even Telegram to like
yeah,
have access.
yeah,
So at one point, uh, I was like, the cool thing about this, and I'm not trying to say this to like promote the Raycast one over
yeah,
OpenClaw.
yeah,
It's more
yeah,
about the
yeah.
concept as a
The
whole.
concept, yeah,
But like, so much of my life and my organization already lives inside of Raycast. Like, for example, my notes
yeah,
are inside of Raycast.
yeah,
I have notes
yeah,
for everything.
yeah,
My granola notes, Raycast knows exactly how to
yeah,
access them through an extension.
yeah,
My clipboard history, my snippets, my quick
yeah,
links, man, like it knows all of these things. So in a way, it could provide that personal assistant already with so much context that
That's
comes
what I've
for
been
free.
saying.
It
Yes,
just comes
yes,
from
yes,
using Raycast
yes.
on its own.
Because you saw how friction it is to even add calendar support to Cloudbot, for example. Just adding basic skills to it. Like it comes out of the box with certain CLIs and skills, but it's
Yeah.
far from like a user friendly application. And what you have on the other hand is you literally have all the hype that people want their personal assistant now, and all the extensions already set up that if I want my calendar, I just click enable calendar and boom, it's
Yeah.
enabled in Raycast. And here, like right now, what I have on this other computer right here is like I'm trying to make like a sandbox app for safely accessing my emails because people with all the success lately, they've been trying to prompt inject me. They think that
Yeah.
my Claude bot directly reads the emails, which is stupid. It doesn't.
Oh
And
man.
now I want like a safe place where a third party bot, third party LLM is screening my inbox before my bot can talk to it. So you guys will face the same issue that eventually you'll have to be careful about browsing the web, prompt injections,
Projection.
giving
Yeah.
access to like iMessage, email, or any external source. Because there's so many malicious people right now that
Yeah,
want to
man.
take advantage of the
I
shit. It's
worked
like
in
sad, but
crypto. I know how it is, like
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's
It's
crazy,
nuts.
man. It's
It's
crazy.
nuts. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the idea that with an extension you can just sign in like through OAuth, and if
Yeah.
that could already enable skills, then you
Yes.
kind of get it for free. You just sign in with your account and job done.
And so many people would just jump on. Like, I think like the more you speed this up, yes, I'm putting the pressure on you. The faster you can absolutely dominate this space for normies, because as someone says in the chat, OG, it is hard for like 99% of the people, even
Yeah,
more. They're never going to set up something as complex. People
yeah,
are doing like simpler hosted solutions, which are like, hey, you don't need to set it up, but then it doesn't have all the power. And I think
yeah,
Raycast is perfect between the hosted one and the super nerdy one that you need to set up. Like it sits perfectly in between for productivity people who want to automate their life.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right. God bless you, man. Amen. All right. So thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no
It's always a
problem.
pleasure
My
talking
pleasure.
to you.
Always. Yeah.
Always have a good time catching
Yeah.
up. And thanks for coming on our first live stream. You may
Yeah.
go now.
Is this your first live stream
This
ever?
is the first kind of water cooler live. So we did some other
Okay.
ones in the past last year, but now we're
Uh-huh.
trying to do them like consistently. You know how difficult that is, right?
I know how difficult it is to be consistent. I'm actually gonna start the Tinker Club podcast soon, and you're planned to be one of the guests. So we're gonna talk about your
Sweet.
nerdiness level and which things have you cracked a game in your life, and
All right, let's
you
go,
know.
man. I'm ready. Let's get it
All
done.
right.
All right,
Thank you,
cheers,
chat, for
man.
being here. Appreciate you, Pedro, and see you guys around.
All right, cheers, man. All the
See
best.
you. Bye bye.
All right, cool. So that was cool. Oh man, always fun talking to kids here, man. Jesus, what a character. All right, let's see what's next. So yeah, let me look at this list here. Maybe can get my screen up again. Um, and so, as I've been talking with Kitse, you've probably heard that we have been exploring a little bit with how AI and assistant, personal assistant, Claudebot, whatever, wherever we're calling it, could sort of be deeper integrated in Raycast. We did some hacks last week, and I kind of shared them already on Twitter. But if you haven't seen, then here are some of the little kind of screenshots. So this one, for example, was basically I had set up CloudBot running on my machine, and I was just using the Raycast AI chat as the interface to talk to it, basically. So at this point, it's nothing more than you having access to your bot through Telegram or WhatsApp or Discord, but in this case, through the Raycast AI chat. And to be honest, that's like the simplest thing to do in a way, but already feels quite cool because if you're used to using Raycast, then the chat experience here is already much nicer. So, so yeah, that was one of them. And then moving on to the next thing, what do we have here? All right. So the next topic on the list now to stop talking a little bit about Claudebot and stuff. I think we're gonna get Bruno on, and we're gonna talk a little bit about these ads or this series of ads from Anthropic, which I thought was quite interesting. So let's
Can
get
everybody
Bruno
see
on.
me?
Yo,
Yo,
How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, you're showing.
Oh, sorry. Let's do that. That's better. That's
I thought,
nice.
yeah, it was just us in the screen. Cool.
So
I was
yeah,
trying to figure out how to put me on screen so
yeah,
we
I
can
can
see
see.
the
I can
ad.
see. I can hear you loud and clear.
Nice. Me too. What are we talking about?
So, one of the things that happened this month, quite recently, actually, what, 2 days ago, was this series of ads that Anthropic launched, and we were having a good laugh internally when we saw these. So, for you who don't know, Bruno, introduce yourself, and then so people know why it makes sense that we're talking about this together.
Yeah, hello everyone. We've been looking at your comments here. It's me and Steph in the background, in the behind the scenes. Have you guys seen the ads from Anthropic that they released it? Steph, show me the comments if they have, because
Yeah, I think a
I
lot of
can only
people
see.
seen it now, man. Even Sama
Oh,
sort of reacted to it, didn't he?
yeah. I was gonna show a comment here.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Fox Alive. Yeah. Oh, I didn't introduce myself. I'm the video producer, by the way.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys have seen me in some of the videos. It's been a while since I don't show up, but I'm always making sure that Pedro looks good and
Thank you. Thank
sounds good sometimes, except last video where there was a little bit of a sound situation going on. Um, so yeah, what do you guys think about the ads? I I love them, to be honest.
Yeah. Man, it was crazy. Like we spent so much time thinking about ads internally, like if you want to release something. And the simplest ones are the best. Like they were so simple. It was so well executed. Like talking about purely from like a advertising point of view. I thought they were great, man. What about you?
Yeah, and from like a viewer point of view, I want to comment on Sam Altman's reaction later,
Yeah.
but just from a viewer point of view, it's just they're so funny, right? And to me, it's like because they were poking fun at this. Can I share your screen, Pedro, so that we kind of have the ad
Yeah,
here?
yeah, go on, share this. I don't think there's gonna be any audio, but share the screen and
Yeah,
we'll
just so we
play it
can
here.
illustrate it a bit.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Cool. So yeah, this ad. It's just that I thought it was so funny that they chose to stab at this sort of AI manner of speaking and like the way that that AI responds. I don't know. Like, to me, I don't use AI super intensely like a lot of people that are more in the developer side or that code a lot. I've been starting to use like chats more recently, and it's like you immediately identify when you see like the therapist talking like that and being robotic, and it's just so funny that like an AI company did that and like made fun of almost like they're making fun of ChatGPT, but they're kind of making fun of themselves as well. Didn't
Yeah,
you
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's true, man. Like ultimately the way of talking, like I always felt like Claude had a slightly better tone, slightly more, I don't know, maybe slightly less robotic, but at the end of the day, still like, you're absolutely right type of thing. So it's obviously like lighthearted, I think.
Yeah, like I feel all the time is just a lot of the chats is just like trying to get it if you want it to sound human at all, right? Because I think they also it's something that we struggle with a lot, especially when we're doing like tutorials and teaching you guys how to use Raycast. But we struggle to not find use cases because every one of us has a personal or lots of personal use cases, but we struggle to find the use cases that sort of teach you better, right? And like that make Raycast easier to understand, because our goal is to educate people and make them know how to use Raycast. But what I liked about what they did is that they picked the specific use cases of AI that like wanted to be human sounding, right? It's like if you wanted to be your therapist or your personal trainer, or like if you wanted to mimic a human, you're gonna want it to sound human-like, and so they were just very smart to pick those scenes, because it just makes it funnier, right? Like when it sounds
Yeah.
like a robot, and if you're associating that with, ChatGPT and ads on AI, it just makes it so much crazier. And I just love the direction too. Like the ads are so like stylish. I love the
Yeah, no, it
music
was
and
very
stuff.
well done, very well shot, man. I would love that we can at some point make some ads at this bar, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Should we put up Sam Altman's reaction
yeah, let's
to
look
it?
for
Do
it.
you have it
I
on screen?
replied to it actually because another thing before we talk about that, I just want to say like the thing that they're actually talking about, right? The whole point of this ad is to criticize OpenAI's choice to show ads in your chats, right? Like kind
Mm-hmm.
of the that's kind of like the thing that they are saying, look, we don't do that, you know. We're not gonna put ads in your chat, which I don't know how much I believe that. I'll have to wait and see because like from my experience, every product I've ever used eventually has ads in it everywhere. You know, like YouTube didn't have ads, now it does. Spotify didn't have it, now it does. And even if you pay for Spotify Premium and you want to listen to a podcast, you still listen to the ads that's like embedded in the podcast, right? So it's kind of hard to completely avoid putting ads everywhere. Like I can't use Instagram anymore. It's impossible now because I see like one post from someone I follow and then 10 posts from random people and ads. So,
Can I do a hot take about that though?
yeah,
I
please.
kind of like Instagram ads. It's like how I discover a lot of stuff. Like not that I like Instagram ads, but if you think of it as like a just a platform that's going to show you
Like a
stuff.
discovery system
Yeah, like
thing.
a discovery system or like a platform that's going to show you stuff that you're likely going to buy anyway. It's easy that like it shows me good
So
stuff
you've bought
sometimes.
stuff from an Instagram ad.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like not necessarily ads, but like things that show up on my story that I wouldn't know about, or
yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
recommended profiles and stuff. I just love this comment from OG, and also the one from Annie. Is it Annie? Annie Araz. Thank you so much. Um, but like now Raycast got to create beef for an ad like that. Who do you think we should have beef with?
The thing is, we don't really have beef with anyone. We're quite
Yeah, we're
in
vegan.
that sense, and I quite like that. I think that there is some classic beefs: McDonald's, Burger King, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and now OpenAI and Anthropic. But I don't know, man. I don't feel like we need to do that.
Yeah.
Um, we just have a nice product, then we just like the way that we normally do it is like our product speaks for itself, and I love that. Like our marketing strategy is basically just showing you things you can do with Raycast. So
and
it's more like a
also
show and tell type of thing.
and also may I add, our marketing strategy is also doing amazing community events like the Ray Cafe that we're going to host next week. Right?
Definitely.
Which is very cool. We get to, if you guys are in Barcelona by any chance, or just nearby, just show. Do you have the event there? The event link thingy.
Yeah, over here.
Do.
So
Oh, so there's a way to. One second, guys. There's a way to like put up like QR codes on screen.
oh yeah.
So it didn't know it soon enough. So maybe next time we put up a QR code for the Luma event. But right now, this is a link. Maybe Steph can put it on the description. Well, not the
Yeah.
description, but like on the chat. Yeah. And then,
Well, this event is kind of full already, to be honest. So don't sign up anymore.
but if you no, if you sign up and you say that you're coming from the live stream, we're gonna get a spot for you,
Okay, okay, that's good to know.
right?
Yeah.
Because this is
Now
a
that you said
community
it, we have
effort.
to do it.
Now,
All right. So that's the event. Did you want to talk about this comment from Sama or
oh
we
yeah,
can
that's
skip it?
true. Let's put it up.
I've got it here on my
I want
screen.
I want to hear your opinion.
Do you want to go first?
Let's see. First, a good. No, I want to hear you first because you responded to him.
I responded to him, and yeah, I basically just said ads are ads. The board will eventually shove them anywhere they possibly can. I mean, look, that's just from my previous experience. Is exactly what I was saying before. Like, as soon as something goes from free to, they decide that now they want to make money, it's time to improve the revenue and stuff. Ads is the way to go, right? And it's I find it quite hard to believe that there won't be ads in AI chat when chat is becoming our main interface to like everything, right? It's replacing so many other interfaces. So I find it hard to believe that there won't be any. Um, and also, he's got his stake, obviously, like he has to protect the company's reputation and whatnot. But I don't know, man. I don't want to stir too much. I'm slightly skeptical, but I'm also hoping to be hopeful that maybe it's not going to be as bad as I think.
Yeah, I think like the way I read it from sort of a brand perspective. I think that he's like when he said Anthropic, um, there was
This one,
somewhere there. Yeah, when he says Anthropic serves an expensive product to rich people, it sounds to me like he's almost positioning Anthropic as like Apple,
yeah,
but in a bad way, and he's trying to position himself as like Meta or like Facebook, right? Like which is like the thing for everyone. That is almost like WhatsApp versus iMessage type of situation, which is interesting because it's like he chose his position to be, or even not even in WhatsApp and iMessage, but more like what's the Mark Zuckerberg vision thing? Like the
the Ray,
VR
is it the Ray?
Meta something, not
Yeah,
the Ray-Bans,
the
but
Ray
like the
Ban.
Meta
Yeah.
Vision thing versus the Apple Vision Pro, which there was a lot of discourse back then when Apple created the Vision Pro, which is like it's just for rich people, it's too expensive, it's like very niche. And he's kind of trying to reduce Anthropic to maybe that thing, which is like nobody's going to use you.
Yeah.
Like you can. To me, I just don't think it's that like elegant.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Pedro, what
And
are you doing?
and also, like, I just wanted to get rid of my screen for a second so I can see what's going on. But another thing is like, um, everything is in a bubble, right? Like when I'm on my Twitter bubble, suddenly I'm seeing everyone talking about using Opus 4.5 or using some Claude model. 2 weeks later, he goes back to Codex, etc. Then he goes back to Anthropic. Then at some point, we're all on Gemini because now he has the best image generation and stuff. So I think at this point, things move so fast. It's also hard to know what's going to happen. And interestingly enough, is also that whenever I talk to people in my tech bubble, a lot of people are using Anthropic for like almost everything. But when I talk to anybody else, everybody's using ChatGPT for everything. They don't even call it OpenAI. It's just ChatGPT. So, there's also like you got to take into account that everything we see and when we talk to is like, what bubble are you in? Because that changes everything. Even
Oh,
go on.
I no, I had something interesting about that because I saw, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, or last month or something, but it was apparently Gemini is really big in Brazil specifically.
Oh,
So
is it?
like, yeah, so because like there's ChatGPT is like the most used thing, just like you were saying, and the basically the second place is, it's like it was a graph like this. It was like ChatGPT, Gemini for every country, but for Brazil it was like this. For some reason, they made sure they made it in Brazil, and apparently like people are choosing to use Google's AI,
Oh, wow.
which is crazy. Like I thought it was super interesting because like sometimes it's about what your friends are using, right? And like depending on how tight knit the community is, or if there's something specific about a product that like resonates with a specific people. That's interesting.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Oh, the Raycast chat is the best ad blocker then.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
actually,
You should promote that.
that's a very good comment, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if, like, yeah, thinking about it. But, like, yeah, maybe, who knows? Maybe, that's the new feature, ad blocker for AI.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Hey,
so,
Tucker, sorry, Pedro, I was just reading the comment.
do you
Tucker
wanna read
says
one?
there's so many technologies and features that are designed like to remove ads. So it's probably coming to ChatGPT quite soon.
Yeah,
That's
that
also
is true.
true, right? Like,
100%, 100%. Did you wanna get any more comments? Should we move on to, like, answering some comments, or did you wanna we can go to the, community highlights as well. We've
cool. What
we've
do you want?
got
Is
so
there anything?
we basically collected some tweets from the community, things that we've seen recently, and we just wanna quickly call out, there's been like, man, we're so lucky we have this community because, like, it's even hard to keep up. I feel like other companies I've worked for when trying to do community work, it takes so much effort to get people to talk about your product and to create things for it. But with Raycast, it's almost like we have the opposite problem. We have a lot of you just constantly talking about Raycast, sharing how you use it, creating extensions for it, writing blog posts for it as well. So there's a lot of stuff that we need to try to keep up with. And so I've got some here that I feel like going forward, every time we do this, I think we will try and throughout the month start gathering some of these tweets or cool things that we saw that you're doing with Raycast so we can share them with other people as well. So the first one I have here from James. You might know James. He usually talks a lot about Obsidian and stuff. He wrote this blog post that I just read before this live stream kicked off, which was super chaotic, by the way. And man, this was amazing.
Guys, if I want to add, I want to say about that, like, if you're enjoying this, like, make sure to let us know because it was so hard to set this up.
I mean,
Like, we,
yeah,
yeah,
we're not streamers, we're doing this
yeah.
with Restream. We just spoke with the Restream team, like, what, an hour before we had to do this. They helped us set up. So Max and Alex, thank you so much for
Thank you so much. Shout out to Restream. Let's add something like check out Restream
check out
maybe.
Restream. So yeah, so
But
this blog post, we'll share the link as well from James. And man, I love posts like this. I think we're all trying to figure out the best way to use our tools to be productive. You know, should we use Raycast Notes versus Obsidian? Should use Codex versus Cursor, whatever. But this one was one that I really want to call out. I think everybody should read it, and especially at this bit that he talks about, like, this concept of having a weekly list in Raycast Note. Like, out of all of the note-taking apps, Raycast Notes probably one of the simplest ones, and that's exactly what we love about it. Like, I've talked about this in so many of our videos, and I think that's also the reason that many of you love using Raycast Notes, especially especially like floating notes that used to be called. Some older users will remember where it didn't even have markdown support. It was so good. But anyway, the idea of like creating a note for each week where you can keep track of everything that you're doing. I do that for my personal notes. I do that for my therapy notes, for my sort of journal, and I do it for my work related stuff as well. And one of the things that he says, let's see, where he wrote it. I open Rickard's notes. Yeah, somewhere. I don't remember exactly where it is in the article now, but it's one of the reason that he likes to use this is because of the no friction. It just sits on top of your screen, and that's the feature. The feature is that it's on top of everything else. You can be doing what you need to do, and you have your notes that you can refer to. And like before, we were using Granola to take notes of our meetings. That was my way to take meeting notes because I could be doing a call and I have Raycast Notes open above the video and I can be taking notes on it. Unfortunately, I don't use it for that anymore because now Granola does the job for me. So anyway,
Oh, can I add something?
yeah,
I actually do still use it. I've just recently started turning on Granola again. I kind of forgot about it because everyone that I was in a meeting with was using Granola,
that's
so I
true.
didn't need
Actually,
to.
that
Yeah.
that's
Um, but I feel like sometimes when a person is speaking and I want to take a note that I want to address in the meeting, like in like 5 minutes from now, because I
oh,
thought about
okay.
something,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
still
yeah.
quite useful
That's
to
good.
use Raycast notes for that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was,
100%.
wait, what happened? Why is the chat here? What's that? What's the use
No
that?
idea.
Guys, we're
So
figuring out how to stream. So sorry about the hiccups, but just one more thing I wanted to add
I
about
go on.
like notes and floating notes, because I've been chatting with I've been training Claude to kind of know about Raycast, and so I can chat to him like about Raycast.
Right.
And the one thing that he doesn't want to learn is that Raycast notes are now Raycast notes and not floating notes. Apparently, it's just a name that's like we're never gonna be able to get rid of.
No, man, we have to change that. We have to change that. All right. So then Dimitro, he basically launched his first Raycast extension. And I love when I see tweets like this. I've seen quite a few this month, to be honest. And when people, they've been using Raycast for a while, but then they finally go, man, you know what? Let me try and build my own extension now. They kind of take it to the next level. And so congrats to Dimitro for doing his own extension. Haystack, that looks really useful, quick way to organize stuff, which is funny because that's almost what I kind of already do. Like on my phone, everything that I need to remember is a screenshot. Like I never take any notes, just screenshot everything. And on my computer, it's kind of the same. I just take a lot of screenshots because I then use clipboard history to find stuff. Like in a way, clipboard history is like my second brain, which is funny because we just did a video about that yesterday that we're going to release next week. But that's how it's been working for me. So this is kind of similar. You can take screenshots, which is the easiest way to record anything, but it goes into Haystack, which is the store, which is the extension available in the store that helps you organize things in a way that is a little bit better than just in a flat list with clipboard history. So I'm looking forward to trying this out. If you want to try it, then just open Raycast, go to the store, search for Haystack, and let us know what you think. Let's give Dimitro some feedback. Have you
Hey,
tried? Have you tried that Haystack yet, Bruno? You haven't had the chance yet, no?
no, I actually it's the first time I'm hearing about it, so I'm gonna
Ah,
check
okay,
it out.
okay. So yeah, man, like
But
let's give it a go. I think we could highlight this in one of our new videos as
yeah,
well.
can I add, if any of you that are watching have your own Raycast extensions that you want to showcase, like we would love to talk about them as well. So maybe share it in the
Yeah,
comments.
exactly, because we didn't do that much due diligence here. So Um,
No, we
what
did.
else? So Josh, this is great. Like the reason I love this one is from the way he started the tweet. Got sick of manually generating invoices. Yes, I mean that's the type of stuff that nobody likes to do. So he solved his own problem with creating a Raycast extension that is just for him. And what I want to call out here is that man, there's such a good use case of creating Raycast extensions that is just for you. Like you don't need to always publish it because if you've worked in open source, if you've built anything and shipped it, you know that there's a huge difference between making something for you and making that ready for other people to use. Like when you do it for you, you just have the features that you need. And the moment that you want to make it into a product or into something that can be used by other people, then you're having to take into account other people's edge cases and a bunch of other stuff. So it does come with a level of responsibility in a way. The moment you publish an extension, other people are going to use it. They might create issues for it, feature requests. But also, that's the power of open source. Like that's the reason the extensions are open source. So anybody can just jump in and make a contribution to an extension, which is the way that we keep the store running. And I feel like let's do a shout out to Pear here in the support team for keeping all that running, because it's a lot of extensions, a lot of PRs, a lot of issues, and so it's quite impressive that he can keep it. He can keep it in the state that it's at. So yeah, so
And
this was very cool.
can I about this extension? I saw that tweet and I think I quote tweeted it or something. I was like, oh, that's great news for the freelance community, and I think I added some pressure, poor guy, because
Oh
he was
really?
like, "Oh, now I have to publish it." But that's quite interesting too, because it's like what you were saying, right? You can create an extension that solves your own problem and sort of not worry about like making it production ready or whatever. Um, but it's quite easy to make it production ready after that, right? If you decide to share it and maybe somebody's going to just fork it and like tweak it to their own use cases, is
Yeah,
really great.
definitely.
And like it's sometimes it's something this small. It's like, wow, I can't believe there wasn't an extension for that already. But it's definitely, it makes sense, right? Because I remember whenever I had to create an invoice, because it's not something that we used to do like in Brazil when I was a freelancer. There's a whole system there. But when I had to create an invoice for like an international client or something, it was always like you just have to Google for invoice formats and stuff, and it's so stupid. And having the way to do like a way to do it through Raycast is just so useful.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, man, that's good. I actually have a
That's
few
true, Rob.
extensions that I never shipped to the store, so it's fine. But what was the comment on there? Like if you
If
build
you
an
build an
extension,
and you
what was
don't
it?
brag about it, did you even build it? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
if you build an extension, you don't brag about it. Did you even build it? Yeah, no, probably not. You probably didn't. You have to brag about it.
Oh, we should also, yeah. I was gonna mention Alexi as well. Alexi, sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
we can't talk about Raycast nowadays without mentioning Alexi.
Shout out. I think he's
Shout
here
out to
in the
Alexi.
chat.
He must be here in the chat. I think that so he started off last year doing this project, 100 days of Raycast, which basically meant that for 100 days he would share like a tip or a trick or some hidden feature and stuff. And I've done that in the past, and I did it for 24 days. And I remember thinking, man, that was so hard, like not because there are not enough things, like there are thousands of things that you can share about Raycast, but like with everything else, just the consistency of every day having to share something. And so Alexi has been doing this amazing job with the community of sharing something every day. He even exceeded the 100 days, and now he's at 132. I guess today will be 132, right, Alexi? So if you haven't done it yet, we'll keep an eye out for it as well. And so yeah, man, like these are things that we really really appreciate, this type of stuff. What happened here? Oh, wow, 50-50. Not bad, not bad. What else do we have, Bruno? Did you have anything else on my list? That was kind of it. I have the events next, which we have already
Yeah.
talked about the events.
I
Um,
removed your screen, so if you wanna
we've
look
got,
at us,
I think
you have.
Steph can share the link, but we've got events happening in so many places now. So we've got a bunch of ambassadors. It's been about, I want to say, maybe 6 months that we kicked off the our ambassador program. So now we have ambassadors around the world hosting events. But the next one, like Bruno said, is here in Barcelona. Then we've got Madrid, Dublin. We've got man, we've got San Francisco coming up as well. Wow, there's a lot. You have to take a look at the Luma calendar. Portugal, France. So yeah, I wish I could make them all, but I can't. But the good news is, if there is an event that is near or is in a city of some of us that work at Raycast, then chances are we'll make it. We'll make it there. I'll probably make it to the Madrid one that's happening soon as well. I'll try and pop over there.
You've never been to Madrid, have you?
I've never been, man, so I'll take that opportunity to check out Madrid. And on that note, if you do want to become an ambassador, then check out raycast.com/ambassadors, and there you can apply and yeah, be be closer to the community, but also be closer to the team as well, and especially to
Amazing.
Steph, who is the one who's gonna be talking to you all the time.
By the way, if you guys in the comments, if you want to see Steph on a live stream, please.
Yeah, actually, we tried to get her on the
She's shy.
stream, but she doesn't want to. And the funny thing is, she's got like a pseudonym on Twitter, so she's on Twitter checking everything, but nobody knows who she is. So that's a secret. Maybe if you guys find out who she is, you can also share it. But I think that's all for today, unless you got anything else, Bruno.
I don't think so. I think, and we're just rounding out to an hour now. It's perfect.
Perfect. All right.
Oh, let me put up Alexi on screen. He was here. Thank you, God. Oh, apparently I accidentally started a focus session some
Did you?
time ago, and it just ended. Yeah. Do you want to? Okay, I'm gonna just so we do this neatly and beautifully. I'm gonna remove myself from screen and leave just Pedro, and he can do like a little outro because he's the pro of being a presenter on YouTube. Let's go.
First live stream. I have no script for this one, so I just want to say thank you everybody that tuned in. Thank you, Kitse, for coming on as our guest as well. Always a pleasure to talk with you, and we'll see you next month. All right.